Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going over day 3 of the 2020 presidential race recap. We did get some new numbers in from yesterday to today, so I thought it was important to share them with you and go over what's changed and what's new. And we have some pretty substantial changes going on, to be honest. So I'll start out west as I have before. The state of Nevada, we do have a few more votes that have come in from Clark County. The state is now up to 92% in. Joe Biden is up 49.7 to 48.1. It's about approximately 21,000 votes or so. Biden's ahead. And as you can see, 53-44 in Clark County. Before, Biden was up over Trump, I believe, 52-45. So a few more votes have come in for Biden. Out of Reno, it has not changed. It's still 50-46. Um, if you saw my previous video a few weeks ago of how November, what am I talking about? Of how Nevada will break down and how we'll vote. For President Trump to win Nevada, it likely depends on him winning Washoe County, where Reno is, or running very, very close and getting like 51-48 in Clark County. And right now, it's looking like that won't happen. So my money is currently on Nevada going to Joe Biden at this time. Of course, the votes can come in, things can change, but my money right now is on Joe Biden winning Nevada. As well, the state of Arizona, we got some new numbers in. Arizona, the lead for Biden continues to narrow, 49.9% for Joe Biden, 48.6% for President Trump. President Trump has gone some more votes. Go to Maricopa County, 50.9% for Biden, 47.7% for Trump. It's gotten closer. President Trump's lead is getting small, or President Trump is trailing by a smaller margin. It's happening in Maricopa and it's happening in Yuma. These two counties both have gotten more votes in and both have benefited President Trump. Now, 93% of the vote in, Biden still holds about a 40,000 vote lead or so. Um, it is technically, mathematically, it is possible for President Trump to come back, but at this time, we're just counting the votes and see what happens. Personally, I'm not very sure what's going to happen in Arizona. To give you my honest opinion, I'm really not sure. I'm kind of doing what you're all doing. I'm just sitting back and watching the votes and seeing what happens. But if you are President Trump, you are encouraged by this because for the first time, Joe Biden is under 50% of the vote. And if you're under 50% of the vote, that means President Trump does technically have a shot to come back in Arizona. Whether or not that happens, that remains to be seen. But we're just gonna watch what happens. We're gonna count the votes and see how they come in. So that's Arizona. Next, we're going to go to the state of North Carolina. North Carolina is nothing different. We have not gotten any updated numbers. At this point, there hasn't been anything come in, but we can pretty much assume President Trump is probably going to win North Carolina at this time. We're also waiting for the Senate race results, so they both have not been updated in a while, but I would assume President Trump would win North Carolina at this moment. The two biggest changes that have come in are Georgia and Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania came in. President Trump was leading yesterday for a little bit. Joe Biden has now taken the lead in Pennsylvania. So Joe Biden is now taking the lead in Pennsylvania. He's leading with 3,311,000 votes. President Trump has 3,298,000 votes. So Joe Biden is up, quick math, about 13,000 votes or so in Pennsylvania. And what happens? Well, we go to Philadelphia. 96% of the vote in, so some more votes came in from Philadelphia. There'll be a few more votes left, but most of the votes that came in were from Philadelphia. And the surrounding Philadelphia areas are all 98%. Philly's the only one that's still got a few percent left. That's where these votes are coming in from. You may notice I'm going state by state right now, going all of the counties. There aren't many of them that aren't at 98% or more. I think there is one 98% right here. So maybe a few votes for President Trump, but that might be like maybe 100, 200 votes for President Trump. It won't be that much. This county right here, I just saw it, 97%. That'll be a few hundred votes. That'll be a few hundred votes as well. So there's 96%, so a few hundred votes. There's a few hundred votes out for President Trump in these counties. But the question is, can President Trump overcome that? 6% left in Pittsburgh. Will President Trump be able to gain, or will he trail on that? Will President Trump be able to make up the margins in Philadelphia with a 4% left? President Trump was leading in Erie on election day, but Joe Biden has come back and flipped that. Can President Trump make that up? Well, 90% in, probably not. So at this point, Pennsylvania has flipped to Joe Biden. I believe Decision Desk, the website, has called Pennsylvania for Joe Biden. New York Times and CNN both have not called it yet, and those have been the two primary maps I've been going off of for this time. So New York Times and CNN has not called it yet, but at this point, you have to acknowledge Pennsylvania is looking very good for Joe Biden. And if you're President Trump right now, you're pretty much just looking at doing a recount and looking into potential voter fraud claims. That's pretty much all President Trump can do at this time. So that's Pennsylvania. Now we go on to Georgia, the shock of the night. Look at that. 49.4 to 49.4. Joe Biden is ahead of President Trump by a little under 2,000 votes. 2,000 votes are separating President Trump and Joe Biden in Georgia, and Joe Biden is ahead. This is super, super tight. A recount, the Secretary of State already announced there will be a recount, so we'll be waiting for that. But, I mean, it's pretty clear. At this point, President Trump cannot win the election at this point unless something drastically changes. President Trump cannot win without Georgia and Pennsylvania. He had leads in both of them yesterday, and Joe Biden has flipped both of them. Doesn't mean they're both going to stay in Joe Biden's category, but it's looking pretty good at this point, like they will, unless the Trump campaign finds something. Do they find actual substantial cases of voter fraud, take it to the Supreme Court, and they actually find the claims to be true and there's actual factual evidence? If there is, that could potentially help President Trump. But that's a very, very big if, not to mention a prevalent voter fraud case of thousands of votes would be unprecedented. That's never happened in American history where there's been enough voter fraud, suspicious votes that was able to flip a presidential election. That has never happened. So if it did, that would be monumental. That'd be history making, but that's a very, very big if at this time. If that does happen, of course, I'll update you and let you know how it goes. But right now, Georgia, Joe Biden's ahead in the state of Georgia. And what happened? Atlanta. We were waiting for some votes out of Atlanta yesterday and the day before. They came in big for Joe Biden. Joe Biden made up some votes. Henry County came in for Biden. Newton came in for Biden. There's one county, Cobb County came in. I'm looking for, where is it? Clayton County. Here we go. Clayton County had some votes left out as well for Biden. They came in, so they gave Biden a boost there as well. Last time we checked, Savannah and Chatham County, they had some votes left. They came in pretty strong for Joe Biden. Augusta's pretty much in. Athens is in. So most of the votes in Georgia are pretty much in. So you're just in a close race that's 2,000 votes separating. You're going county by county. We know where Joe Biden's votes are. All Joe Biden's votes are in, and he's up and he's winning right now in a typically Republican state of Georgia. So you're looking for President Trump. You're looking at these red counties. Are there any votes out there? And if they are they enough to overcome Joe Biden's narrow 2,000 vote lead? I'm not sure. That's why we're waiting for the recount to happen, because Georgia is so, so close right now. We don't know what's going to happen, but if the vote totals hold, there are no cases of voter fraud, and the numbers hold, it's looking like Joe Biden's going to win Georgia. With that said, we're still waiting. President Trump is not conceded. He says they're taking it. He says they're going to take it to the Supreme Court. That's his words, not mine. President Trump distinctly said that he's going to the Supreme Court over this, that he claims the election is being stolen from him, and he claims there are substantial cases of voter fraud they can take the Democrats to court over. If that is true, the Supreme Court will either prove or deny that, but we're going to have to wait and see. But at this time, it is looking much better of a chance that Joe Biden will become the next president and President Trump will lose. However, the next things can change on a dime. We've seen that the last 2 days. Trump was up in Pennsylvania 600,000 votes 2 days ago, and now he's losing. So anything can happen, anything can change, but that's the current look of the race at this time. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you tap the bell icon so you get notified when I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.